Hello and welcome back to Quest to Manifest. Today I'm going to talk about what to do when a bad day hits. I think this is as much for me as it is for whoever's listening. So I'll get right into it. If you guys are wondering, if you listened to my first episode and you're wondering why I haven't been going into goals and manifestations like I planned to, and that's because I'm filming or recording all of these back to back to back because I'm just really excited for them. So it's been like a day since I filmed the last one, which means that my goals and manifestations are pretty much still the same. So I'll get right into what to do when a bad day starts. Most of my topics, I see something on Pinterest and I want to talk about it. So this is a post on Pinterest. It's taken from a Tumblr called Self Love Dude. The first thing on the list is drink more water than you think. I think this is so important. There was a study done, and an alarming amount of the population is actually severely dehydrated. And I feel like we don't notice that we are because in the past, we would have to like hunt for our food, run out. We'd be outside, maybe in the sun, perhaps, and that would naturally trigger our instinct to be thirsty. But nowadays, when we're pretty much at home most of the day, either at home or at work most of the day, those things that would naturally trigger our instinct to be thirsty are no longer there. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are dehydrated, including myself sometimes, and it really affects our mood. It can make us have brain fog, just not feel good. So, and the number one thing that you want to do when you're having a bad day is take away everything else that might be contributing to that. So you don't want to be dehydrated on top of whatever major thing might be causing you to have a bad day. You want your body and your mind to be as good as possible, as healthy and stable as possible, so that you can deal with the bad day. So the next one is to dress up in your nicest outfit. This is also really important, especially during quarantine and stuff, because a lot of us will naturally choose the stuff that maybe is most comfortable, is easiest to wear, but occasionally at least, and especially when you have a bad day, it's important to dress up just for yourself and whatever you feel most confident in and comfortable in. That might be sweatpants and a tank top, for example, or that might be a nice pair of jeans, a shirt, and a nice jacket. It all depends on you, and you just have to be honest with yourself. And when you're having a bad day, just take that little bit of extra effort to dress up in your nicest outfit, even if it's your nicest pajamas, even if it's sweatpants and a tank top. The next thing on the list is do your hair, shower, anything that makes you feel cleaner. And I also think this is a big one simply because you don't want to be feeling dirty and gross on top of already having a bad day. So it's important that you make sure you're clean and presentable, and when you pass by the mirror, you like what you see. And doing your hair, showering, doing things, putting on deodorant, putting on a nice scent, all of these things will help you to feel better and be able to deal with and cope with your day that much more better. The next thing on this list says to write a love letter to yourself. I think that's a good idea if you want to. However, I can't realistically see myself doing that. But instead of doing that, if that feels cheesy to you or awkward, writing a letter to yourself, then journaling would also be a really good alternative. Or I know some people don't like to journal and they feel comfortable talking to other people, so doing that also, someone who's a good listener. But for me, what I like to do is to just journal as if I'm writing a letter to someone else about my day, about my problems, and that really helps. The next one on the list is to listen to music that you can get lost in. I think this is also important. I personally can't just sit down and listen to music. I get really antsy. But walking around, cleaning, tidying up while listening to really good music, or going for a run, which I'll get into after this, is a really great way to help get your mood up. The next one is put one foot in front of the other. I think that, I keep saying I think, hopefully it's not too annoying, but this is also a really good one, literally and figuratively. Getting up and walking is really good. Also, making sure that you're focusing on the now and the little steps that you can take now, instead of looking at the entire mountain. Look at the steps that are in front of you. Don't overwhelm yourself by thinking all your thoughts. Also, even though they're real, they're not real. They're not reality, in the sense that you don't have to climb the whole mountain all at once. And when you think of the whole mountain, or the whole project you have to do, or your whole life, it can be overwhelming and daunting. So instead, just look at the tasks that you can take right now, the little things. Maybe it's making your bed. Sometimes I just want to stay in bed, so that's fine. Maybe it's clearing off your desk, doing a little sweep, just something. Maybe it's the first step of a big project you have to do for school or work. So just the small steps, beginning steps you can take, because a whole journey is a collection of a bunch of footsteps. A whole project is a whole bunch of little tasks being completed. So it's important to remember that and to realize that. The next one is take breaks when you want to. Honestly, if a bad day hits, my entire day is going to be a break. But if you still have to go to work, I think that's really useful to take breaks when you need. Maybe you go home early. Maybe you let yourself get in late. Maybe you don't expect yourself and place super heavy expectations in yourselves to socialize. Taking breaks when you need to is also very useful and very important. The next one, it says eat something light and healthy. I think this is also very good because, for example, last night I made some really amazing baked mac and cheese. It was very delicious, but when I woke up this morning, I didn't really feel good. And it's not one meal that does that. Literally, the day before, I had a cheese pizza left over. The day before that, I had cheese pizza left over. And the day before that, I had a whole cheese pizza, and that was literally all I ate. And I just didn't feel good by the time this morning came, the night after I had mac and cheese. And I had leftovers that I wanted to eat. So I ate a bite just to get the taste and flavor. I don't restrict myself. I try not to restrict myself anymore. But after that bite, I realized I'm gonna have oatmeal. That's gonna help my digestion. That's gonna help make me feel good. That's gonna give me energy to take on my day. So I ate oatmeal and I had a nice smoothie and I feel great. What you put into your body, it sounds so cliche, but it's so true. You really get out of your body, you really get out of your mind. And so yeah, eating something light and healthy that you like is really good. Just find what that is for you. It could be a yogurt, it could be toast, whatever is healthy, but also not too heavy, that won't cloud your mind and cloud your judgment and put stress on top of your body and mind, on top of the bad day that's already hitting. You can start to see the pattern. The key to dealing with a bad day is to make everything else in your life simpler and easier so that you can deal with it. The next and last one on this list is know that this day will pass and that you will feel yourself again. That's also super, super important. It's so cliche again, but it does get better. And sooner or later, you're going to be so happy that you forget about the bad things. That always happens to me. I go through problems, dark, rough patches, and then when I'm happy again, I literally just forget about them. I feel like my whole life has been good. And I might do an episode on that because it's also something I learned in psychology last year. When you feel an emotion, when you look back on your life, it feels like that your whole life has been that emotion, or maybe not emotion, because but state of mind. So if you have a negative state of mind, you might look back and be like, "Oh, my life sucked," basically. And when you're happy, you look back and be like, "Oh, wow, I had a pretty good life." And I urge you to do that just when you're feeling sad. Or you probably already know, you probably already have experienced this yourself, because I definitely have. When you're depressed or something, when you look back, it feels like your whole life has been like this. And but when you're really happy, you can see all of the good things in your life. So know that it's happened in the past, and that this day will pass, and you'll feel yourself again. Another thing that I would like to add to this list is physical activity and movement. It is just so important to helping your state of mind. Literally, cardio is literally releases endorphins, which is like a drug. So like you're literally, it's almost like you're self-medicating yourself, but in a healthy way. Why wouldn't you want that runner's high, that feeling good? Or if lifting is your thing, why wouldn't you want to feel strong? It really acts like an armor to bad days and low mental states. So yeah, that's the episode for today. I want to keep it short and sweet and to the point, in case maybe you just clicked on this wanting to know what do you do when a bad day hits. So if you like this, please let me know. Please leave a review or comment or something. And also make sure that you have a great day. I'll talk to you in the next one, hopefully. I'll see you. Goodbye.